Pac-Man, the only boxer in history to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions. He defied the odds at every turn, a true underdog story that reached beyond the boxing to become a cultural phenomenon. Manny Pacquiao isn't just a name, it's a symbol of hope, resilience, and the will to fight. Not only for victory, but for the hearts and dreams of millions. From his humble beginnings in General Santos, Philippines, to becoming a global icon and one of the greatest athletes to ever step inside a boxing, Pacquiao's life has been anything but ordinary. He fought for survival, for recognition, and ultimately for greatness. But was he just a small guy with a big heart? Or was he the ultimate boxer whose combination of skill, power, and determination left an indelible mark on the sport? Let's dive into the incredible career of Manny Pacquiao and find out the early days fighting to survive. Manny Pacquiao's story begins in the poverty-stricken streets of General Santos, a city in the southern part of the Philippines. Born in 1978, Manny grew up in a family that had very little. His father abandoned the family when Manny was still young, and his mother raised him and his siblings with what little she had. Despite the hardships, Manny found solace in boxing, a sport that would eventually change his life forever. At just 12 years old, Manny was already stepping into the ring, determined to escape the poverty that surrounded him. He wasn't just training to be a boxer, he was fighting for survival. And in a way, that became the foundation of his fighting spirit, his ability to push through obstacles, no matter how big or small. But it wasn't just about the fight for money or fame. Manny had a dream, and that dream kept him focused. 16, he officially turned professional, a move that shocked many in the boxing world due to his young age and lack of formal training. But Manny was different. His natural talent was undeniable, and his hunger for success was unmatched. His early fights were a proving ground, with Manny facing opponents who were often bigger, stronger, and more experienced. But with each victory, he gained confidence, and by 1995, Manny was on his way to becoming a household name in boxing. In his first few years as a professional, Pacquiao fought as smaller weight classes, a move that allowed him to hone his skills and build his reputation. His breakthrough came at the age of 19, when he won his first major title, the WBC flyweight title. This victory marked the beginning of something special. Was Manny a prodigy? Perhaps. But he was also a fighter with a singular purpose: to rise above the odds and make a name for him. And it was this relentless drive that carried him through the tough early years of his career. The rise to global fame, the birth of Pac-Man. In 2003, Manny's career took a giant leap forward when he faced Mexican boxing legend Marco Antonio Barrera. Barrera was one of the best in the world at the time, and many believed that Manny would be overpowered, but Pacquiao had something else in mind. In their first encounter, Pacquiao delivered a brutal, high-octane performance that stunned the world. He knocked down Barrera multiple times, dominating every round until the referee stepped in. This fight was the turning point in Manny's career. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement that Manny Pacquiao was here to stay. The boxing world was officially unnoticed, but was Manny just another boxer riding a wave of good fortune? Absolutely not. His hunger and his desire to conquer remained unmatched. After the win against Barrera, Manny went on to conquer other big names, including the likes of Erik Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, and others, cementing his legacy as a fighter who could take on anyone, anywhere, and any weight class. It was the Morales trilogy that truly showcased Manny's resilience. The first fight, where Pacquiao lost by a unanimous decision, was a humbling experience. It showed him that in boxing, there was no such thing as an easy win. But Pacquiao, always learning, always evolving, came back in the second fight, winning in a dominating performance that left no doubt in anyone's mind that Manny Pacquiao had become a force of nature. Pacquiao's rivalry with Marquez became one of the most memorable and dramatic in boxing history. Their 4-fight saga is often regarded as one of the best in boxing. Each fight was a tactical chess match, with Pacquiao and Marquez each trying to outsmart, outlast, and outfight the other. The first fight ended in a controversial draw, and the second in a Pacquiao victory, but it was the third and fourth bouts that would define the rivalry, the third being a razor-close decision in favor of Pacquiao, and the fourth a stunning knockout victory for Marquez. Was it the end of the rivalry? Perhaps, but what it showcased was Pacquiao's heart and his unwillingness to back down. The big stage, a new era. In boxing in 2008, Manny Pacquiao truly became a global superstar. At the time, he was still a relatively unknown figure in the US despite his success in the lower weight class, but everything changed when he faced Oscar De La Hoya in a fight that no one thought Pacquiao could win. De La Hoya, once the golden boy of boxing, was a seasoned veteran who had held multiple world titles. At 35 years old, De La Hoya was considered past his prime, but he still had the reputation as one of the best. Pacquiao, fighting in a higher weight class than ever before, was the underdog. But what happened next shocked the world. Manny Pacquiao dominated Oscar De La Hoya. From the first round, Pacquiao's speed, power, and relentless style overwhelmed De La Hoya. By the 8th round, De La Hoya's corner called the fight off, declaring Pacquiao the winner. This wasn't just a victory, it was a historic moment in boxing. Manny Pacquiao had arrived. Was this the moment that made Pacquiao unbeatable? Not quite, but it was the moment that solidified him as the face of boxing. After that fight, Pacquiao would go on to claim titles in even more weight divisions, making him the first boxer in history to win world championships in 8 different weight classes. But was it all just about the titles? No. What made Manny truly great was his ability to adapt. Whether facing a bigger, stronger opponent or a faster, more technical one, Manny always found a way to win. The rivalries continue. Mayweather, Marquez, and more. One of the most highly anticipated fights in boxing history came in 2015, the long-awaited showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It was a fight that the world had been waiting, a clash between the two best pound-for-pound boxers of the era. Mayweather, the undefeated champion, was known for his defensive mastery and calculated style. Pacquiao, on the other hand, was the offensive juggernaut who never stopped coming forward. The fight itself was a tactical battle. Floyd Mayweather's defense was on full display as he avoided most of Pacquiao's best punches. Was Manny's heart in it? Absolutely. But Mayweather's skill and experience ultimately led to a unanimous decision in his favor. Despite the loss, Pacquiao's legacy was still intact. He had faced Mayweather, and while the outcome was disappointing, it didn't tarnish the greatness he had already achieved. Manny's losses only added to his mystique, proving that even the best are human. But outside of Mayweather, there were still huge names for Pacquiao to face. His 4-fight rivalry with Juan Manuel Marquez was one for the history books, and Pacquiao's epic battles with Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Timothy Bradley kept the world watching. Every fight was a new chapter in the Pacquiao saga, one that continued to elevate his status as one of the greatest of all time. The comeback and the final years. Even as he got older, Manny Pacquiao didn't let his age define him. In 2016, after a brief retirement, Pacquiao returned to the ring to reclaim the WBO welterweight title, defeating Timothy Bradley for the 3rd time. The fight was another demonstration of Manny's skill, heart, and determination, but it also showed that Manny wasn't done yet. Though his prime had passed, his desire to fight remained as strong as ever. After a brief stint in politics, where he became a senator in the Philippines, Pacquiao continued to box well into his 40s, despite some doubters. In 2019, he shocked the world once again when he defeated the much younger and heavily favored Keith Thurman to claim the WBA welterweight title. Was it a fluke? Far from it. Pacquiao's victory over Thurman in his 40s was one of the greatest performances of his career. The Pac-Man still had it. Legacy. The underdog, who became a legend, continued. By the time Manny Pacquiao retired in 2021, his career had spanned over 2 decades. He had achieved everything a fighter could dream of, and more. He was a world champion in 8 different weight divisions, a political figure in the Philippines, a philanthropist, and a cultural icon. His name became synonymous with boxing greatness, and he captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. But Pacquiao's legacy isn't just about the titles and the ring, it's about what he represents. Manny Pacquiao, the kid from General Santos, rose to the top against impossible odds. He wasn't supposed to make it. He wasn't supposed to fight at the highest levels of the sport, let alone dominate, but he did. His story is a testament to the power of hard work, determination, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. From his early days in the ring, where he fought for survival, to his rise as one of the greatest boxers in history, Pacquiao's journey is a blueprint for success. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Manny Pacquiao's incredible journey, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification so you never miss another story about the legends who changed the game. Catch you in the next one.